Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot I had this set up naturally. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. All right. Here we are. Hello, everybody. It is I, Naven from Naven Gaming. How's everybody doing today? So, uh, Stellar Blade is almost here, right? On PC. I already have the game. I just need to wait. Where is it on this account? Did it not get shared over? I have no idea. No, it's probably likely that it just won't show up unless I have it physically on the PC itself. But yeah, that kind of makes sense actually. That I think about it. Anyways, so Stellar Blade is almost upon us, ladies and gentlemen. We have 10 days until this sucker comes out. Now, I have played this game on the PlayStation. I played it on PS5 a while back, long before I was really God, how long has it been since I played this game? I feel like I haven't touched this game since around the time of its release. It was a fun game though. But I played it when it first came out on PlayStation 5, and I had a lot of fun with it. I really like this game. And one of the things that I really like about it is not just the aesthetics, obviously, but it's also mainly the gameplay. The gameplay is where the meat and potatoes are. At least for me. It's a combination of two, right? It's got great aesthetics and it's got great gameplay. Now, the thing that I hated about with the game when it first came out was that yeah, it feels great. Yeah, it looks amazing, right? It's got all of the necessary hallmarks to be a really excellent game. The only thing that kind of hampered it, like ever so slightly, was was kind of like I wouldn't say that the story was bad. I would say that the story was just lacking. It needed the story needed a bit more of an uplift to make this really work. I also felt like there were some plot details that were kind of missing. Like there was some, so in some instances, kind of felt contrived, but that's neither here or there. But outside of like a bit of a middling story, it had also not the it had a lot of range of aesthetics, but I also felt like like it could easily have a lot more aesthetics. And since it's coming to PC, that's not even going to be a problem. No, the real issue that I also have is the only gameplay mechanic that I could possibly complain about was how stilted or stiff some of the mechanics were. Like just the movement of dodging and hitting sometimes felt just a little bit stiff, right? And I've always felt like that for a while, right? This game feels like it would probably be so much better on PC. And sure enough, they announced the PC release. I was really stoked about that. Now, I wasn't sure what I was going to do in the meantime, right? Because I didn't even know if I was going to make a series out of it. I didn't even think about making a series out of it. I've been trying to think of what I would be streaming for a while since I've completed Doom. I thought about maybe going back to Kazan. I thought about maybe going to do, I don't know, go back to Clair Obscur. But then I noticed that Stellar Blade has a demo coming out, and that's almost upon us. And I'm like, I wouldn't mind making a playthrough of this as well. And while it's not a particularly long game, it's still decently long. I'd say it's like at least a good 50-hour game. Tops, if you're looking for all the collectibles and shit. And as far as like the extra content they added to the game, they added a lot more content to the game. This is also by the same people, by the way, who made everyone's favorite ass and titty game, Nikke. Everyone's favorite ass and titty game. I, for one, am not exactly the biggest fan of Nikke, though I haven't touched it in forever. I played it a little bit, right? Because one of my friends is into it. And actually, now I think about it, I have two friends that were into it. One of them was a woman, so I hardly ever see her play it anymore. Anyways, it was a that's a weird thing to think about. It's a funny, it's a really fun game that. No, actually, I'm not even clarifying what I'm talking about now. Nikke is a fun game if you like the cover shooting mechanics. But it's not really a game for me because it's not as involved as I would like it to be, of course. Now, like, say Zenless Zone Zero, that's actually more of like a gacha game that I could actually get a bit more involved with, though granted, I did not like how simplistic the gameplay was. It's a good hack and slash, it just needs more combos. And pressing a single button in random intervals is not what I would consider fucking gameplay, but you know, to someone with a phone, that might actually be gameplay. Granted, there's probably a bit more to the combat now, and I'm probably misremembering. I'm probably being a bit, I'm probably grossly simplifying its mechanics, but it's true. It's all flash, but no substance. I kind of don't like that about Zenless Zone Zero, and I was hoping they'd fix that eventually. But from what I've been hearing, it doesn't seem like it. So that's disappointing. Anyways, my problem with gacha games aside, Stellar Blade is made by Shift Up, which is the same people who made Nikke, and you know, they, for a game that is a AAA game, right? Or at least a game that's on AAA quality. It's pretty interesting. I actually really enjoyed it. It's got all of the necessary gameplay to make it stand out. I've already went through all this, but let's just jump right into it. I personally like this game. Like, you know, all of the I want to say, well, gratuitous sexual content. I would say that outside of like the obvious things that make it obvious as to why people like it, I like it specifically for the gameplay, and I don't necessarily care about the well, actually, I'd be lying if I said I don't care about the aesthetics. I do like the aesthetics, but that's neither here or there. I mean, I'm a guy. What's a red-blooded guy supposed to do? I mean, not enjoy the eye candy on the screen? Anyways, if you play for the full game after completing the demo, the save data will transfer to the full game. Yeah, so I was never expecting that they were actually going to do this, by the way. That they were going to actually release a demo on PC. Though I'm glad that they did, because it gives me a lot of time to really, like, fuck around and really play around with the game, which is what I wanted to do. Oh, natural borderless window. Oh, no, don't do that. I'll keep it at 60. But yeah, not only did I want to see what the graphics look like on this at its prime, I'm not even going to fuck with that, but I am going... One of the things that I was really excited about was just to see if they've really updated the gameplay a little bit. Now, I was able to run it on very high, but with the streaming software, I'm not sure how that's going to look, so it's going to be up for debate on that one. Let's see. The sharpness is probably going to do too much. I know it did a little too much before. I'm not sure which sharpness does that, though. Rendering scale. One thing I will turn off, though, to ensure that we don't have any... Oh, they turned off the film grain automatically. Thank God. Someone who understands my pain. The film grain is the worst part of any game. And unless it's for stylistic purposes, I don't fucking care. Oh, man. Alrighty. Go ahead and just go through the settings. I think that's all the settings here. Nice. We're done here. Alright, let's just hop into it. Story mode, normal. Okay, yeah. Do a normal mode, of course.
Transmitting final briefing. As of now, Airborne Squad 7 will exterminate the Alpha Nativas occupying District 3. Their objective is the capture or dispatchment of the Elder Nativa. Pods entering atmosphere.
1 minute until threshold is reached. The threshold has been surpassed. Activating shield.
But yeah, if you've ever played Nier Automata, this game takes heavy inspiration from that.
Code red.
Not so much gameplay-wise though, but more so from like the story. You know, I thought I adjusted the lip flap a bit better, but I don't know. Seems like I got it a bit more open. I don't know.
All available
I'll leave it.
roadblocks will be ejected according to Protocol B32.
Nice. I mean, we're kind of getting our asses handed to us, but still.
No!
Where's my drink?
07531.
There it is.
Pod landing complete. Removing physical shield. Opening hatch.
Nice.
The hatch. Come on. Come on!
Getting right into it. Or not. God, this game looks a lot prettier on PC.
Taki? Eve, are you alright?
I mean, I just played it
This place is
yesterday. Still looks fucking great though. Can you fail these? I would like to check, but I'm not gonna. Based off of a real person, by the way. None of that horse shit that the media was spewing. As well as all of the Twitter junkets. Fuck those people. It's also the wife of one of the developers. I'm kind of jealous, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, I can't do the dash yet. But yeah, this game feels so much smoother compared to the PS5 version. Not just the look-wise and frame rate-wise, but it also looks a lot better. It plays so much smoother too. Like, I feel none of the stilted jiltedness that I felt in the PS5 version. Like, I don't know what it was about the PS5 version, but it feels, the combat and movement feels so much smoother now.
That was close. Come here. Careful with your jump.
Rip.
Watch out! It's known as Nativa. I'll handle this one. Watch out! There's more!
Our first retribution, let's fucking go.
Great, let's go.
I don't think auto pickup is set up, is it? There's nothing to pick up anyways.
First aid.
Did I take damage at all? I don't think I have yet.
There's more of them.
No, I haven't.
Let's get out of here before more of them show up.
Yes, let us get out of here.
You secured. Rendezvous point in sight.
This way! Watch out for Gardner's interception.
Oh boy.
Don't stop! Keep moving me!
Oh my god, there's so much shit happening. There we go.
That was close.
Barely see the red marker on the ground.
This isn't looking good. Let's go!
Is that?
I think those chicks are wielding
Alpha
katanas.
Natiba?
Let's join them.
Did the monster kill her before the ship, or did the ship get to her? It's like the chicken and the egg question. We will never know the answer. But it looked like the monster slammed down first.
No! The squad's life signs. We're the only two left.
Oh man, even through OBS, this thing looks amazing.
Eve, pull yourself together.
Taki?
Listen to me. We haven't completed our mission. Now it's just up to us to see this mission through. Understand? Eve,
Came in like a wrecking ball. I am not gonna sing that. These dulcet tones are meant for yelling and shitting. And not in that order. Oh god. God, he looks grosser than I remember. Alright. Taki's getting manhandled. We can't have that. Can't have the baddest bitch getting manhandled. That's the last thing we need, especially not from an ugly bastard. I've seen enough hentai to know where that goes. Oh god. I'd like to try and beat this one, really. God, all of my Souls training is really starting to come through. Nice. It's like a dance. Who taught these women how to fight?
it wasn't an alpha, but it was a strong one. You fought well.
Because I would hope their style passes down to the next generation.
We were all together. But then...
The damage to your body frame is serious.
That's what that shit on her back looks like.
We have to find the supply camp. Wait, Eve. I hear something.
I always thought that thing was like some type of wiring. Not so much like a ring with like 2 pulleys around it.
Eve, are you alright?
Oh boy.
Alpha Naytiba.
You know, knowing what I know in retrospect, I don't think I'm ever gonna get an explanation for any of this shit.
No! Ah!
Rip.
Eve! Get out of here.
Taki!
Roll credits. Access the character section in your data bank. You can adjust the Eve's view by blank. Yeah, which sharpness quality is that? Oh boy. We had genitals for a second on stream. Can't have that. Probably shouldn't look at the statues in this game.
It's quiet.
Still, make sure to stay cautious. It's where the Alpha Naytiba is.
How much you want to bet Chad Korean guy here? It's probably just an insert for the director.
Now, get ready. I'll be supporting with the drone.
I forgot his name. That's right, it was Adam, wasn't it? Because this game runs on themes, right? Adam and Eve.
So this must be Adol 7.
Yes. This was the final battlefield of civilization.
Don't look at the statues.
It was also known as a truly colossal city.
Well, that statue's fine. And so were the other ones, surprisingly.
Something is falling from the sky. A strange sensation. This must be Earth's rain.
We can admire the scenery later. We have a job to do here.
We have a job to do here.
The terrain data's changed recently.
God, this game is so pretty. Alright. I want you to know... This is okay, so this is the fast travel stuff. When you get the full game, this phone will be your fast travel points between sections. Oh yeah, there he is, Adam. I want you to know another impressive thing about this game is that the hair physics are on point. This game actually has better hair physics than most games. So much so that they literally said, hey, we could have released this thing a year earlier than its initial release date, but we decided to take an extra year just to fuck with hair physics. It's like, come on, people. I admire your dedication, but hair isn't everything. Though I do appreciate the advancement in
Be careful.
molecule technology.
Something is coming.
It's a crustacean type. They're common enough here.
Crustacean type. Crustacean nation? Dead.
Alright. Area is clear.
You're gonna want to hold right trigger to pick up shit, by the way. God damn it. Is it just me, or does she seem to jiggle a lot more than I remember? This chick
The Legion that was killed in the
has so much jiggle physics. I remember this when I was playing it yesterday, but it's like, goddamn. I get surprised by it every time, just like everything jiggles. There's physics on every aspect. The thighs, the glutes. Everything has to have physics. Nothing can be without physics. You know for a fact that when they got liberated, when they decided to release this game, they no longer had to deal with Sony's bullshit.
It worked.
God, you remember back in the day when Nintendo was the one that was basically like with a family-oriented company, and now Nintendo doesn't even give a shit if you put dating sims on it? What the fuck kind of a clown world are we living in? Let's be honest here, viewers. You would want to be this bench right now. You would. I know you would. Because I do too. No, I'm kidding though. All jokes aside. This chick is uncomfortably hot sometimes. Especially with some of the outfits you can give her. Jesus fucking Christ, this game. It is the game of all time. Back away. I'll be collecting that.
What was that just now?
It's a machine that collects relics. It's rare, so make sure to hold on to it if you come across one.
It's also one of the few games that actually allow you to swim. I don't know how the hell she's kicking the water with her feet, considering that she doesn't exactly have a whole lot to kick with. Especially not foot-wise. Her feet are fucking tiny. This is an uncomfortable angle. Or is it the best angle? I'll leave that up to your guys' imagination.
There's a Legion camp in a place like this.
They're also adding more outfits than I previously saw in the PlayStation 5 version when I last played it. A lot more. Some that I don't even remember actually either finding or acquiring. And then, I mean, I got some of the DLC stuff that came out with it, especially the Nier Automata collaboration stuff. But it's like, I didn't know there were a lot more outfits. This game's coming out with a lot more outfits. Or maybe they're just adding new for the PC release. I have no idea. Perfect dodges. Oh wait, actually, I have another skill point. Recharge more beta energy when landing attacks. Could be useful, but the air attack. What's this? The backstab. I want something that breaks shields on some bosses.
What's wrong?
It's nothing.
From here on, you have to stay alert, Eve.
Alright. Cutscene gone and done. Done and dealt with. It's nice that they actually let you pick the music instead of cycling through them. Because before you had to cycle through them, now they actually just let you pick them. I wonder if that means they added new soundtracks for the resting area. That'd be kind of nice.
Oh, it's one of the Legion's old supply boxes.
Do you think there's anything useful?
Useful. Always something
Well,
useful.
it's Legion, so compatibility shouldn't be an issue. Make sure to take everything.
Especially with the amount of costumes we're going to be getting in this game, we're not going to have enough resources for the end of the game's catalog. I could just already tell.
Eve, be careful.
That new Game Plus is really going to come in handy.
Fall, it's over.
The terrain climbing, just like in every other AAA game so far these days. Oh god.
Forget to retrieve this.
I'm sure there are more supply boxes. It'll help us survive. So, look carefully.
Yes, but more importantly, it's gonna make us look fly as fuck. Okay, and there was a frame dip for a second. As a matter of fact, I need to check something real quick. Where is it? There it is. Blah. 1 second, guys. 1 second. I have to check something. There we go. I wanted to see my desktop bar for a second. Now we can start this up. Okay, so yeah, it's just playing that. It is... You know what? Because I feel like pushing it, we're going to set it to overdrive. I want to keep the gameplay and frame rate consistent while still managing the quality at a reasonable level. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. Alright. No exospines, no gear, so all the gear slots will help to elevate some of your base stats. There's a lot of customizability with how you approach combat in this game. And here's the exterior wear, of course. This is going to be the 4 categories of which you'll be able to customize this character, from hair to outfit to if you want to adorn your face with some glasses. They do have butterfly glasses in this game if you want to be the premier Karen as well. You know, we got to make sure we represent the Karens in our audience too. Can even customize the drone. There's even a section for, I mean, it says comrades, and so far it's just the drone, but it's even going to include 2 other characters that you will be introduced to in the story, including Adam when he gets his, when he gets officially appointed as a character we can actually fuck around with. But yeah, this game really likes Nier Automata. The director does anyways. It's one of his favorite games. So much so he actually got into an interview with Yoko Taro. Make of that what you will, but oh shit. Did she just scream? I don't think I've heard that one before. Oh, okay. And back away. Nice. Some Bitcoins and some currency. That's all about it. But yeah, to truly find all the unlockables and get the most out of the game, you're going to want to do a lot of side questing and digressing. There's a lot of digressing in this game. Now, I did mention that this game is like a Souls-like, but it's not really a Souls-like. It's a bit, it's got a mixture of a Souls-like combined with like an action game feel, right? This game cares more about giving you some moderately challenging gameplay with decent flashy moves and skill sets. I don't want to call it Devil May Cry, because it's not Devil May Cry combat. Oh. Anyways. I am getting really bad with the parry on this one for some reason. I even did a lot of practice yesterday. Stab. Though it's hard to get away from the Devil May Cry comparison when she does the trillion stab move. But the point is not to be stylistic. The point is just trying to fucking survive. So if you're someone who's new to the Devil May Cry series, that's probably going to be still no different from how you normally play, so. Alright. Nothing. Just a random box that leads to nothing. It's gotta be one of my favorite genders. Nothing in the bushes. Sometimes I always feel like there's something in these bushes. Don't make me climb its genitals. Do not make me climb its genitals. Thank God. Oh yeah, I forgot this fall damage. You'd think with a game where you play as an android from space, falling would not be the biggest concern. or it would be one of the things you'd weed out of their construction. Mm-hmm.
Are other cities in a similar state?
By comparison, this city is looking pretty good. After the colony extinction, most places were nothing but dust. Wait, there's a fusion cell. Let's open the car's hood. Oh, surprise! At least the fusion cells.
Fusion cell?
It's a high-energy compression battery. Thanks to that, Earth's night isn't dark yet.
Oh, it's the previous generation of the Infinity Cell.
Be sure to keep that. It's very valuable.
Previous generation. You know, when this game does get a sequel, if it gets a sequel, you know, I knew that was coming. Still got me, though, because it didn't bother to wait for me to whip around the corner. It was just like, nope, fuck you. Unlock it? Nope. Don't have the code. Can't even screw around with it just to bullshit my way through it. You know, some people would do that. I think with those ones, though, you have to input a particular sequence that changes every time, though. Which kind of adds to another weird layer of questions, like, why can't you just do that now?
It's a trap.
Oh. It's a trap. Don't mind me. Oh shit. Let's get out of there. It just gets worse. That should be all of them. And here comes this thing. So why do they crystallize it into a statue? Or do they just get all stony like that for? That's my question. Camouflage? Didn't think they cared about camouflaging. Or maybe they do. Oh no. How do these creatures work? Says the person who's played the game all the way through a PS5.
We're in the clear. Where do we go now?
This way. There are traces of markers left behind by the Legion.
Oh, so they actually explain the yellow paint away. As markers left by people who've been through here before. Probably one of the few games that actually bother to put lore around that. Trying to make it an established part of the goddamn game world. Seeing my first rodeo. Well, you think I would have saw that one coming, and I kind of did. You know, I don't think I got that dodge unlocked yet. Anyways, you're dead. Hey, look, one of the Air Force people. Just let me yoink your life essence.
May your memories live on forever.
In like in true Nier Automata fashion, your dialogue about these types of interactions will change throughout the course of the game. Just like the characters in Nier, protagonists of this game will begin to question everything that they thought they knew and everything they thought they understood. There was something to pick up over here, but I don't know if it's still there. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was something else. I guess it was just the boxes. Oh no, it probably was up here. Where was it? Wait. That's right. There's a bar here that leads to nowhere. Why is that? Oh, wait a minute. I need a double jump. That's my problem. I need a double jump, but I don't have one. Anyways, can we turn around? Yeah, let's, I don't think we're gonna be able to do this, but let's attempt it, shall we? Nope. And don't worry, guys. I am not ogling her. No, I'm a self-respecting gentleman. We shall do so very considerably. Decades have passed since the appearance of Naytibas and the evacuation of humankind to the colony. They say the airborne squad is descending to rescue the remaining humankind, but there's no sign. We can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I've been kind of skipping some of the lore.
It also has record of a message log.
I've been kind of skipping some of the lore. But that's mainly because it doesn't really serve to add too much to the gameplay, because a lot of it is just, you know, to expand upon the nature of the world and its story. Not so much about the actual narrative story structure. Only in certain contexts does it do that. It just helps you get a better sense of the landscape. There are some places and areas where it does benefit to actually read the subtext.
You have to cross here. Do you see the ladder behind me?
I can't reach the ladder. The water level is too low.
Try using the plank.
How the hell are you not sinking the plank, by the way? I mean, you're certainly heavy enough to fucking fall and then do damage to yourself. You're telling me you can't fucking sink a goddamn wooden plank? I find that to be highly suspect, considering I've seen you kick literal fucking creatures likely heavier and much larger than yourself. Is that a goldfish? Oh god, that reminds me, there's a swimming minigame in this game. Just like in Nier. They really did just ape a lot of mechanics from Nier. We'll be looking respectfully. Definitely will not ogle the character. No. That's just too crazy. It's too much. What should I get? A riposte would be kind of nice from a perfect dodge, though, if I can actually bother to try and dodge. I'd rather just get more beta energy. Successfully parrying. I'm probably going to be doing that a lot more, but... A cutscene? Alright. There's nothing to buy in here, right? Yeah. Respectfully, chat.
Go through this building. Try putting the fusion cell you have here.
I don't know if anybody's watching, but we're looking respectfully. And you will appreciate those bones also respectfully. Alright? It's another crustacean. Bastard made me waste that. Oh, come on. I don't got all day. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, I was holding the block at one point. Do you just find statues like this normally in Korea or something? I don't know. Actually, then again, there's a lot of English text. Where is this, actually? Is this in England? Where are we? What part of the world is this? Ow, you punched me out of my dodge. Well, not my dodge, but my dash. Yeah, I can't get away from that, so we're just gonna have to... That's funny. I don't remember there being physics for that. I'm gonna take one step forward and then bam. Knew it! I fucking knew it! Let's say, just to be safe, I think I'll pull up the... Yeah, there's nothing in the chat on that end. Alright. Nice. What do we got here? The network has been destroyed. I'm completely disconnected from the colony's data link. We have nowhere to fall back to. Is this the Naytibas doing? Is the colony safe? What happened to Mother Sphere? I lost track of time, since even that won't automatically correct itself. For the sake of my own sanity, I must keep track of the calendar by force editing my memory stick. Lament of Despair. Oh. Where's the K-looking thing? There it is. This passcode system is weird. I feel like I'm playing around with wingdings. This is an Undertale. Seriously, what part of the world is this? Can't be England. I've been everywhere at this point. R99. Oh yeah, boxes refresh themselves, don't they? So do explosives, it seems. Nothing else around here, I don't think. At least not without the necessary upgrades. Upgrades, people, upgrades. Shield reduction. Yeah, so in case you're wondering, the shield that it's referring to is beneath your health bar. The enemies have a shield, and so do you. And how it... You bitch. And how it works is that if you take damage, the shield reduces the amount of damage you take, but it also does the same thing for enemies as well, since they also have their own. The thing, of course, is that you can maximize a build to where you can have a pretty good shield generation and just pretty good damage reduction. But there are some enemies that will require a lot of blocking, and they will still damage your shield, regardless if you're blocking or not. Particularly bosses have this problem.
Adam, what is this?
Don't you know this already? It's a map.
A map? How do you synchronize the location on the map?
Forgive her, Adam. She's a zoomer. She wouldn't know how to read a map even if she wanted to. Plastic Hearts Volume 3. Athena, my love, wait. 123, 223. Try to do a little better. You said you danced too. For whom does the rose smile with me? I know I did, but can we go a little slower? With beauty, with grace, just we were born. My little treasure, I am a hacking device. Cyberspace is my realm. I don't know how to dance like this. Right, you're dangerous and cute, and weak. There, I won. Quickly, now, quickly. Should I lick the block? Ah, dear Mother Sphere, please forgive your sinful daughter. What the hell is this? It's this game's version of the Lusty Argonian Maid. Actually, considering the character here, I don't think you could actually... Sorry, I was thinking of a meme. There was a funny meme a while back when Nier Automata was at its prime. It was like, you don't fist the android women, and it's like...
Oh,
Could you do
Looks like
the
it
same
used to be a
thing?
library.
Are these boxes displayed on the wall storage devices?
Sort of. They can only store up to 1 megabyte of data.
What a waste of resources.
What a waste of resources. It has no utility. What a waste of resources.
The crack is quite deep. It's going to be difficult to pass.
You don't say.
We'll have to go across, past the parking tower.
God, I am not looking forward to the day when this game gets modded after it's officially released. You know these motherfuckers are gonna do some crazy shit with this. And the saddest part is that I'll probably be indulging myself in a little bit of it myself. Especially since some body mods are necessary for some of the outfits in some games. I can't tell you the amount of times you need a particular body mod for some of Skyrim's outfits. You know, this also leads to another interesting question. How come we don't just have most games, like, unless we're trying to tell a legitimate story here, why can't every game just star women? You have a better excuse to sell cosmetics to people. You also have a necessity to put more outfits into the game outside of just the cosmetic purchasing type of angle. And not only that, but you get something nice and pretty to look at while you're playing the game. It's a win-win.
A supply camp
Even women like it.
in a place like this.
Supply camp? What's that?
It's a depot, set up by the airborne squad who came here before.
Looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. How come they set up a camp in a corner like this?
Well, the supply camp also serves as an important base.
Is this parking lot important?
It could also mean that this place is very dangerous.
In other words, this is your checkoff
Then I
point
guess
before a
this
boss
place
room.
could be useful for us.
It could also be your in-between from exploring areas. Why you need to insert a Bitcoin every time you have to operate one of these is beyond me, but I guess that's how you activate them, so... I think I want you to activate it anyways. There we go. The blink dodge. That's what it is. Oh, it's gonna make me train. I don't need to train, I know how it works. So how you want to do it, right? So you want to saunter up, and then when you see the blink, as the game so eloquently calls this particular maneuver, that was the perfect dodge, but that's not what we're trying to do. See, when the enemy does this, and then you see the blink on the weapon, you want to push up on the left stick, and then press the dodge button to activate it. That's how you do it. It's really simple. You're going to be doing this a lot for a lot of other maneuvers too. It's all directional. But you have to press a different button for some others. Okay, I think we should go now. I think we should go. God, the outfits are going to be the worst part of this game. Not technically, right? Obviously, they're going to be the best part of this game. I just dread the fact that I will have to deal with distractions on screen. Oh, the lovely distractions. It's probably going to get me killed if I'm not careful.
Adam,
Yeah.
about yesterday. Thank you for saving me.
It's nothing, really. Though I have used up almost all of the exospine materials that I collected over the years.
Oh,
It's alright. That now means we can help each other. We can track down the Alpha Nativa together. And, well, I'd have trouble making it out here by myself anyway. If you can locate the Hall of Records, you'll have done more than enough.
listen, don't worry. I promise. I'll make sure to repay you.
Don't make promises you can't keep. You should also be a little bit more specific about your promises. Fast travel. We can go all the way back to the beginning if we wanted to now. Although there'd be no point in that. I know some people, especially when this game was starting to come out, particularly journalists, were having a massive shit fit over the attractiveness of the character, right? Now, any sensible thinking person can look at a game like this, right? Even before it was coming out and be like, yeah, it's obvious what its target audience is, right? We can all agree. We all know what its target audience was going to be. But let's also be honest about another thing. Does it matter? Does it really matter? Of course not. It never matters. You want to know why it matters to the journalists, though? It's because they want something to bitch about. And they need clicks on their articles. And so they'll find any excuse to bitch about something. Even if it's something as trivial as this. Why do they do it? Because they need people to get pissed off just enough, right, to go and actually bother to leave hate comments on their articles, right? Just really give them the incentive to just insert their comments, just really shove it right in there. I'm being a little suggestive, but that's basically the long and short of it. They aren't actually mad that a game like this exists. And if they are, listen, the only women I have ever met that actually hate games like this are the same type of women who have crappy personalities. I'm gonna be real with you right now. I'm gonna be fair. The only women who are bothered and actually give a shit about games like this are the same type of women who have literally nothing going for them. I know women will often say the same thing about dudes and their financial stability, but when it comes to women they have a personality deficiency, right? If men have a financial deficiency in this day and age, women have a personality deficiency. They're fucking garbage. Even if they're pretty, the inside is what matters more importantly in this day and age. And oh my god, is it hard to read. Yes, it is. Holy shit. I'm tired of this shit, by the way. You know, if women really don't like seeing other women, or in this case, fictional women, being objectified in games and other forms of media, you know what they could just do is just objectify men. Why not have their stupid garbage fucking novels on Book Talk or Bookwalker or wherever they're getting their books from get turned into cinematic masterpieces like Twilight? Or better yet, why not make TV shows out of them? That way you can prolong your exposure to male pecs and also bulges and the occasional slight genitalia reveal here and there. I don't know. The sky's the limit. No one's ever really pushed the boundaries of what they can get away with how much male anatomy they can show on screen. So much so that it's kind of awkward to see a lot of female genitalia in Witcher 3, but God forbid if they show Geralt's dick. It's like, my god. But no, seriously though, it's just, it's insane. It's insane how much people give a shit about this. It bothers the shit out of me. It's just like, this can go two ways. It doesn't have to be one way. You can, if women could be sexualized, then men could just as equally be sexualized. In fact, most men don't even give a shit if you do it. We're not going to partake in it, but we're certainly not going to give a shit if you do it. It's like, I don't understand the weird complexity that women have about other attractive women on screen, other than they just feel self-conscious about it. And if they feel self-conscious about it, then you probably don't need to bitch and whine about it. Just take it for what it is. Either you are self-conscious about it, and maybe you need to, maybe it incentivizes you to really work out, maybe improve upon yourself. Just like how some video games and seeing particularly masculine characters incentivize other men to maybe want to go hit the gym, right? You know, fucking... The Act Man made an entire video around this topic. And with this game in particular, you know...
Look! That's not an ordinary enemy!
Our first boss battle, let's fucking go. I remember I had to try a few times when I was playing this game for the first time. Oh boy. I got him on my first attempt though, when I played this yesterday. You bitch. Well. You gonna mosey on up? You know, I didn't know the Black Legion was in this game. Abaddon seems like he's seen better days. Yep, just keep making it easy for me. Come on. Alright. Ow, I was trying to heal you, bitch. Oh, now he's varying up his attacks now. Alright. Now we're gonna finish it with one of these, huh? Nice. Yeah, there are more outfits in this game than I remember too. I mean, I already said that, but they, looks like they made a whole new trailer for the PC release.
My name's Lily. Pleased to meet you.
The memories of those who couldn't make it back to Mother Sphere. Ave, please help us.
This information is full of errors. It's just not credible.
I don't remember that jacket.
That's impossible. The alpha signal is spiking!
It won't be easy. Make sure to be well prepared.
They're getting smarter. You're definitely not ordinary.
Oh my god. They made sure to include some of the money shots in here. Stellar Blade. Yeah, I already... What was that? Oh, did I just get a subscriber? Hi. I heard it shine. That must have been my subscriber. I wish I had a chime for when I get comments, because I can never tell when I'm getting comments, apparently. Maybe I'll go and get that set up at some point. Anyways, thank you for whoever that was. In fact, I have a window specifically for this reason. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do the boss challenge now, because this is where we get some of a bit of a preview of what we can expect from the full version. Let's see. I want to get a screen window preview. There we go. There we go. That way I can really see. Oh, it was I can barely read that. I wonder if I should adjust the size of these, but I think they're at a perfect size, to be honest. No. Oh, it's a like. No, that's a subscriber. Why is the heart symbol there, then? Oh, no. I'm gonna have to probably take a better look at my overlays again. Anyways, if you're here, Marcus, nice to see you here. Let's see. So, yeah. So for further context, the exospine is going to be necessary for when you want to... This is going to be like the part where you actually specialize at a particular build. For example, the protection type, you know, is all about damage negation. The chain type is about combos. And the reflex type is basically just if you want your shields to recharge faster and you want to have an easier time dodging and parrying. It's basically if you're kind of shit at the game, this is your handicap type of exospine. Which I'm not gonna say anything about that. You know, some people they just have a hard time, some people just don't. It happens. We all have different priorities and skills in different things. I wouldn't say I'm the smartest person. The most academically inclined, so there you go. Anyways, this is a taste of some of the outfits you can get. So far, the Neuralink is probably the best one out of all of this, except for the White Kunoichi, but that's obvious as well. But yeah, there's a lot more outfits, and there's a lot more accessories you can work with. There's some of the hairstyles you can play around with. This isn't my favorite hairstyle, but it's certainly one thing you can use. You can also change the color of the hair. Every haircut has its own prerequisite shading, color, style. So that's something to keep in mind. Otherwise, though, that's pretty much the long and short of it. The gear is, I did kind of glossed over this one, but the gear is basically going to help to more solidify your build type. You can go with something that's a bit of a mix of a lot of things if you want to, but gear type will certainly help with that in that regard, but you could also go with, like, hiding the gear type's already pre-existing aspects that would be beneficial. In my opinion, I would go with just sticking with a build and just hyper-focusing on that. Get the most benefit, the most bane out of your buck.
Is it hiding?
Yep. That attack was another one of those context ones. Just like the blink dodge, when you see the purple thing, you have to press backwards and then dodge. It's basically kind of like a oof. I wasn't paying attention because I was too busy talking. Anyways, that was more like a bit of like a riposte dodge. It's like a counterattack. You basically just dodge after you pull down the left stick backwards towards yourself, and then you do that, and it opens them up to get shot at with a gun. Which, yes, the drone does function as, weirdly enough, as a gun. You know, I am holding the dodge. Well, not the dodge, but the block button. I guess I have to hit it multiple times to get it for blocking. Probably best to block that. I've never figured out a way to dodge that. Whoa. Okay. You know, when I was gonna do the dash attack, I wasn't expecting that to happen at all. Anyways, we finished this. Nice.
Fantastic finish.
But yeah, that's basically Stellar Blade in a nutshell. This game is going to be really great when it comes to PC. If you're looking for a decent hack-and-slash game with some challenge to it, this is definitely a game I would recommend. Actually, I'll go with something that has a bit more attack for skills. But yeah, I would highly recommend this game. I was actually really hoping that they would bring this thing to PC for a long time, too. Not only because I knew it would look good, but because I wanted to play this game on its highest graphical quality. And because I just knew the experience would be smoother, any of the weird choppiness that I might have been feeling from the console version probably go away if it came to PC. And sure enough, they fucking did. They tweaked it out. There is really no best way to get around that. Maybe if I time it right, but... Ah, he was doing that. Ah, couldn't dodge that. What? I have my block up. I didn't dodge back in time. Wasn't expecting that. Actually putting up a bit more of a fight this time. That and I'm probably just getting sloppy. But yeah, as you can also tell, the soundtrack is also really fucking good too. Nier Automata always had the best soundtrack as well. I think they were trying to go something a little similar, but more to the taste and styling of this type of game. But yeah. So far, that's just been Stellar Blade. It's a really good game. That's the only boss you can fight in the boss challenge, I'm afraid. Which makes sense, because, you know, they don't want to give away too much of the content that's in the game. As far as this game is concerned, I think it's probably going to turn out very well. Like, on PC at the very least, this game is going to looking like it's going to be a real banger. It was already a bit of a banger on the PlayStation 5, though I feel like a few things did kind of severely hamper that game. There's also been other things around this game that are also kind of funny too to consider. Like when they were adding newer outfits to the game periodically over time. There was always like a bit of a weird controversy around some of the outfit designs. It's just like, oh, but this outfit in this trailer looked a little different than how it did in the original release. And it's just like what they, you know, like they added like maybe some new fabrics or whatever. And, you know, as obvious as that usually is, that someone looked at it and was just like, this is a little too scandalous. Let's put some more fabric on this woman. You know how that goes. As often and as tragic as sometimes these instances are, they did actually come out and clarify that, well, that was actually a design choice. Like, yeah, it was a bit revealing here, but we added this as just like as part of the design choice. Now, whether or not that's actually true or not, or it's just an excuse, is debatable. I, for one, find that everybody knows what kind of game this is. I'm sure Sony, to some extent, knows what kind of game this is when it was stuck on PlayStation 5. You know, pushing the envelope a little bit, I don't think is asking too much. Especially since, the last time I checked, I think this game actually sold fairly well. So, it just seems ridiculous, but you know Sony, right? Sony doesn't like it when you put too many attractive things on screen. They get a little self-conscious themselves sometimes, I guess. I don't know. You think the multi-billion-dollar Japanese, California-based company, you know, would have a little bit of a, you know, an understanding of what it is that they're selling, right? Right? You think they know what this is, but they don't. Oh, my model's broken. I just now realized that. What happened? Oh. Okay, my model just suddenly fixes itself. That's weird. Anyways. But yeah. You think the multi-billion-dollar California-based company would know. But they just don't. And that was probably the biggest problem of all. Is that they went from being a Japanese-based company to a California one. I don't know why they went with that decision. I imagine that it's because a lot of their products are sold and are a little bit more, what's the word here? I guess you could say the amount of spending for Sony products were more triangulated here in the States, but I don't think that's a good excuse to move your HQ from Japan. That doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, oh, the audio's breaking again. You know, I don't know what causes half of my audio problems sometimes. It really begs the question why certain things tend to happen. Okay. Wait. Okay, no, that's not it. Anyways, I'm trying to mute everything. Unmute everything, see if that works. Yeah, that kind of fixed it. Anyways. It's, but yeah, outside of some controversies around some of the outfit designs on the initial release, just a little bit of touching up here and there, this game has had very little in terms of actual impact when it comes to anything substantial, or at least noteworthy in that regard. There's no real controversies to be had with this game. It's just people bitching for no apparent reason other than just to bitch. And it's honestly the best kind of controversy, in my opinion. You know, like, if people are just bitching and whining over, like, the simple things of, like, what your game is and what it's about versus what kind of content's in it, and otherwise, you know, like, that's a nice struggle to have over, like, say, maybe your director probably did a couple of things he probably shouldn't have, or he took a lot of titty milk from the fridge, who knows, right? Like, certain fucking companies. You know, like, there's a lot of problems that could happen that just were not a part of this game, thankfully. God, that was a year, man. That was a fucking year. Although, I think that happened, what was it, 2021? I don't remember. God. Anyways. Yeah, Stellar Blade is, all in all, this game has been really amazing. I would love to see a sequel with this game, though I don't know where they would go with it. You know, this is the kind of game where it's just like, it leaves an open-ended ending to where it could go in some unique directions, but it's also just final enough to where it's just like, if this was just the way it was going to end, then that's just how the cookie crumbled, I guess. Anyways, I kind of like this game. I really do. I would like to see a sequel to this game, but I don't know if a sequel will actually be able to capture any of the fun or the sort of the most we could expect from a sequel, right? Is that some things get streamlined and it gets a lot more fine-tuned. And then they'll add some new extra mechanics, which that doesn't sound bad at first until you consider that it could be mechanics that you don't really want nor care about, which becomes annoying. So, yeah, sequels to games are always, you know, take what you will. They're always debatable in their quality. It's hard to really nail a perfect sequel. You can never have a perfect sequel. There's always something flawed with it. I have really nothing more to say, I suppose. I guess we could just end it on that note. But yeah, Stellar Blade is a great game. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for something that's fun to get engrossed in, for either for gameplay-wise or because you just want something to stare at for the next 3 to couple of hours, you know. It's got all the things. It's also got a serviceable story. It's nothing to write home about, but it is something that's interesting enough to keep your attention at least. At least keep you focused on what's actually going on and not just stupid shit, I guess. Like, you're not constantly questioning yourself at every given point in time. It's like, why is this happening? What is this doing? Why are we doing this? How come this is a thing, right? You know, like, my dumbass tends to do so sometimes. Like, I tend to focus on a lot of details. Sometimes a little too analytically. It's just like, why does the Nightibas look the way that they do? It's because we need monsters that need to look scary enough for players to kill. Why the fuck do you think that is? It should be obvious, right? But of course you have to ask about, like, but why does it exist in the world as it stands, right? You just ask yourself a lot of innocuous, trivial questions. It's not even important. As far as any near parallels, there are several. I do think that it shares a little too much of its DNA with Nier sometimes, but granted, you know, Nier had a very interesting story and concept, and it had a style that was dystopian and post-apocalyptic in nature, but I like the colorful aspect of this post-apocalyptia, and let me tell you, there's also a lot of just unique things about the game aesthetically that are more interesting outside of the obvious things that are obvious. The world looks nice. Everything that looks like it was handcrafted to a T, almost like sculpted by true artistes. Now, as far as like the debate about like, does Eve have polygons that can probably all fit in the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time debate, that's an interesting question to have. But I don't know if that's actually a debate worth discussing. I'm sure she does, to be honest. But, you know, like, it's weird. It's weird. I don't even remember what it was, right? It was like 2B's asset had enough of something, right? And what was it? Textures, pixels? I don't even remember. To basically encompass the entirety of Ocarina of Time, which is a weird detail that someone found, but it's stuck with the game ever since. And, you know, it was pretty apt because that was one of the bigger takeaways of the game, you know. The glutes were one of the more impressive aspects that people took away from the game. That actually also reminds me of another funny thing. When that whole thing was going on, there was an image that surfaced, right, of 2B having not just glutes, right? Everybody knew that by that point when the game was released, but it also had another interesting feature that is usually taken out of a game, you would imagine, or they just wouldn't bother to put there, right? I think you're all knowing exactly what I'm referring to, the proverbial hole, so to speak. And it's funny because Yoko Taro saw it, and someone had tweeted him the image, and he was just like, weird. We did not include this in the game, but it's fascinating that it's there. Hey, if you could send me more evidence of this particular thing, I would most greatly appreciate. What a fucking mad lad. He saw a funny bit and ran with it. Anyways, yeah. You know, I imagine a lot of Japanese people are a lot more laid back about well, actually, yeah, they are a lot more laid back about this subject. I mean, like, of course they are. They love sex jokes in Japan. They're notorious for it. A lot of their anime has it. A lot of their fucking actual jokes in bars and places where you can find stand-up also incorporates this. They love sex jokes to the upteenth degree. It's like, there's really nothing more to say about that other than they really find the differences between the sexes kind of funny. It's kind of weird how that works. You know, it is actually kind of weird the way that works now you think about it, because their entire culture is, you know, like, their entertainment industry is focused around sex, as well as the usual genres of things, but they have an attention and focus on sex a lot of the time, but whereas in the West, you know, we value a lot of violence and gore in our entertainment to a certain level of degree, right? Whereas in Japan, they censor any amount of gore that's on the screen. In fact, they hate blood so much that when there's a helping amount of it, they blur it out in some scenes, or they change the color of it so that way it doesn't disturb the audience. Danganronpa is notorious for this particular aspect because nobody actually has normal blood in Danganronpa. Everybody bleeds pink. It's kind of funny how that works. But yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because it's more like a teen-rated game. Even though it talks about death games and it's about teenagers dying in a death game, but it is a T-rated game, I believe, or at least it's a PG. I have no idea, and I'm sure the rating over in Japan rates it differently as well. Their ratings board is a little different from ours, but anyways, yeah, it's it's funny how the cultural differences are very particular in this aspect. It's just like, oh, we don't mind having a lot of sexual innuendos as well as a lot of sexual jokes in our entertainment, whereas here in America, we're all about the violence. We're all about just dismemberment, just completely ripping bodies apart. You know, we're all about wanting to see guts strewn about, maybe even people kind of like having some disembowelments here and there, you know, all of the things, right? Maybe watch a guy get eaten alive by a pack of wolves, right? It really is kind of funny, the differences between the two different industries. There's a lot of interesting takeaways for both. As far as like people bitching and complaining, you know, that reminds me of another topic. There was God, you know, Love in Deep Space. I'm only aware of it because there, you know, not only because of the weird shitstorm that was broiled around it at one point, but also because of the proverbial female friend of mine also has also played the game. I think she tried to stream it as well, but I don't know. Anyways, Love in Deep Space is this weird game where it's basically it's exactly what you think it is. It's an app game for women. And I have a little bit of a few questions about some of those things. I think I'm going to mention them a bit, but I never dare to ask because I'm not about to yuck the yum of the women, because God forbid we do that, you know. I would rather kind of start yucking their yum when they start yucking our yum, so to speak, right? Like, if they're gonna bitch and whine about, where are her organs? I'm gonna look at this and I'm gonna be like, where is his clothes? Where is his clothes? Why is he covered in suds? Explain yourself. Why is he this ripped? What is this? Anyways. Fucking, there's some twinks in there, let me tell you. Anyways, enough of that. Point being, you know, like, Love in Deep Space is a weird game where it's just the long and short of it. It's basically a dating sim for girls, as you can imagine, for women, for true connoisseurs of the doujin market, I would imagine. And instead of just embracing it for what it is, a lot of women try to pretend it was something else entirely. Which is hilarious and retarded at the same time. Like, pardon the gamer words here, but you know, it is kind of dumb, right? That you're going to say that, oh no, this is just a game that allows me to unwind, have fun, develop cool and awesome and interesting relationships with male characters, and just experience a story with them, among other things. And it's like, right, because it totally makes sense in context that you would be literally wiping the literal bath suds off of the particular male in this one particular instance, and not even mentioning the fact that there are other instances in the game where you are literally frolicking in fields, and you are also play fighting, and in certain instances, you know, you kind of shove him a little bit, and then he suddenly pulls you in nice and close, and then he's just like, you think you can get away from me? Don't even try. You know, he's basically, you know, it's the bad boy archetype, and it's the funniest fucking shit to see it happen in real time. You think Clown World couldn't exist, but we are living in it. We are living in Clown World. I knew this when Nintendo was becoming less the family-friendly oriented company and was starting to be the based company that was starting to make sense at one point, until you saw the pricing of the Nintendo Switch 2, and then it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, what are you? Activision? Anyways, it's crazy. This shit is crazy these days, right? So many things, so many titans of industry changing and turning to something else. And then, if that isn't crazy enough, you know, we have women in our entertainment sphere and in our favorite hobbies, right? Getting into it, kind of seeing what it's all about, embracing it, loving it, appreciating it for all it's worth, you know, becoming fans of these particular hobbies, whether it's gaming or otherwise. And then, right, we're seeing more and more of them coming into the spaces, and it's great. And then it's just funny when this shit happens, and then they try to pretend like it's something that it isn't. It's just always funny. I don't know what better way to describe that other than what it, you know, other than that. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, for God's sake, they have a literal period tracker, which leads me into my next segue. You know, like, how is it right? How is it right? Because I have to ask this for all of the gentlemen in the world. How is it weird that by living and being around you long enough, a guy can tell when you're on your period is somehow weird or creepy? I don't understand that. I don't know what you're taking away from it that's kind of creepy. Maybe it's because it's a part of fertility issues around that subject. I don't know. Some women think it's kind of creepy that a guy would be aware or cognizant of when they are on their periods or not. But if you're dating them and you're around them all the time, it's kind of hard not to notice or know these things. But it's like, you know, like it's just funny that some women think it's weird that you know these things. And they would just be like, ew, please don't do that. And it's just like, okay, you're fine with that. You're fine with your boyfriend or maybe some of your friends not knowing when you're on or about to be on your proverbial time of the month. But it's completely fine and all right to allow a company to keep track of it for you. Just full on, they have a calendar schedule for it. They literally keep track of your dates. That's entirely fine. I find that to be even more hilarious. You know? Again, it's the same shit. Where it's just like, oh, we want to be the breadwinners. We want to be in the working force. We want to be struggling to make a name for ourselves, to make sense of our existences, as well as to just accrue our own value. And it's like, okay, good luck with that. And they found that they hate it. It's the most miserable fucking thing in the universe. And it's like, yeah, no shit. You think we like it either? We were the primary breadwinners at one point in time. You think we enjoy this shit too? Yeah, but it's just funny. There's a lot of funny things that modern women are doing these days that are just... They both leave you scratching your head, dismaying at the disparity of what they're saying and what they're doing, and just... It's just comical. There's just some things about it that are just purely laughable. Because the hypocrisy is always prominent. It's always pronounced. It's always there. You know? It's just you never say it. You don't dare to say it, because the moment you point it out is the moment it becomes a huge debate. It's almost like an attack on their person. They take everything as like an attack. And sometimes it's fun just for a good ribbing or two, but it's like, at some point, they bring feelings into it, and then it's just, you have to kind of... Now I'm ranting about stupid shit, God. Now I'm turning into a woman, fuck. Anyways... It's just funny. It really is. Anyways. But yeah, that's Stellar Blade and me ranting for a good fucking 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream for as short as it was. God, it's like 2 hours. You know, it's the shortest stream I think I've ever done. You know, like, get the game, don't. I don't care, but if you wanted to get any game this year, this would be a good one. This should be on at least somewhere high on your priority list. I think it's a great game. I think everyone should play through it at least once. At least the demo, right? Because the demo is there. No point not to try it. I'm sure you'll probably enjoy it. I like the demo. I like the prospects of the demo has shown me, both gameplay-wise and also what I could see when I finally get my hands on the full release. So, I mean, there's a lot more outfits than I remember there being, and God, that's going to be nice to dig into. But, yeah, otherwise, you know, like, it's just gonna leave it there, I guess. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And as far as like when my next stream is gonna come up, I am not too sure when I'm gonna be streaming next. I'm gonna be busy tomorrow, and I believe I'm gonna have to make a call today. I haven't been on for a few days for a couple of reasons, right? One of them being that a friend of mine, well, friends of mine are getting like, I don't know what it was, but it's like they were getting like some weird stomach bugs, and then suddenly I got a stomach bug earlier today, which is weird. That was weird, but that's not the main reason why I wasn't on yesterday. The main reason why I haven't been on for the past few days is just because I had been dealing with family issues, because that's always fun too. Apparently, I had my family call. It's not even like extended family or nothing, like far removed from my situation. No. This is they are somewhat removed from my situation, but they are directly related to me. These are my parents, my actual blood parents. So can't really just tell them to fuck off. Nor can I just ignore them. Kind of annoying to a degree, but it's that, you know, like I don't hate talking to them. I don't even hate them in general. I just don't. It's awkward because you don't talk to them forever and you don't really live with them. And it's not like I've ever really lived with them my whole life. I mean, like I've been living with my folks for since I was like not even 1 year old. I don't think. So I don't really have that much of a relationship or a good rapport with my birth parents. They just call in every now and again, and they sometimes visit when I was younger, but they mostly just call now, which is honestly for the best, because I don't want to physically deal with them either. But again, neither here or there. It's just awkward. I don't know how else to say that. Anyways, I need to kind of cut this. I need to cut this and stop boring you people with my personal life and my opinions on things. So, yes. As far as streaming is concerned, I think I'm going to stream, not tomorrow, I'll probably stream in a few more days or so. It's kind of up in the air because I still have yet to get my fucking car done, among other things. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that fixed tomorrow. But, yeah, and then I have other shit that I have to worry about. Just a little bit. It's just mainly the car and my family and relative related situation, but otherwise I should be fine to be able to just relax and just kind of stream, for fuck's sake. If only life could be so simple, right? I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this now. Officially, finally, done. Thank you all again so much for watching. And I shall see you all in the next stream, I guess. Bye-bye!